Hey there, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video for The Flash, Season 2, Episode 19, entitled Back to Normal. I really did like this episode. I thought it was pretty good. Some of the positives that I had in this was I really liked the Caitlin, Zoom, and Killer Frost storyline. I was really intrigued with that stuff. I was actually really shocked when they showed Killer Frost. I didn't think she was going to show up at all, and seeing Caitlin Snow and Killer Frost interact with one another, I thought that CG was the mirroring CG is really great. The mirroring CG on this show is really good. I wasn't shocked when Killer Frost turned on Caitlin. I figured that would happen. I was like, wow, I'm a huge surprise, right? But I was shocked to see Zoom come rushing in there and phase through Caitlin, which was fantastic, and grab that ice spike and kill Killer Frost with it. I did not think they would kill Killer Frost. That was actually kind of a negative as well. But it really makes me think that we seen Killer Frost and Caitlin talking, and we find out that their mothers are actually kind of similar. But we find out that Killer Frost actually had a brother that died, and that's why her mother was so cold, and that's what led to Killer Frost really getting her powers. Caitlin doesn't she didn't really know why her mother was so cold. So maybe there's something more there that maybe they'll explore later on, that we'll find out that maybe she did have a brother, and then maybe this is all leading up to Caitlin Snow becoming Killer Frost on Earth One. I mean, that would be interesting to see if they actually go down that path, because Caitlyn's got a lot of stuff going on. I mean, Ronnie was killed a couple times. I mean, and then you have Jay Garrick that turns out to be Zoom, and that being taken away from her, and it's just like she just keeps getting crapped on everything that she does, and now she got kidnapped and taken to Earth 2, and she's imprisoned, and so much stuff has happened to Caitlyn. It seems like Caitlyn is the one that they really give the hard time in this show. I mean, she's the one that gets all the crap. I mean, she's getting all these people that she really cares about taken away from her, and then if she finds out that maybe she did have a brother, and maybe they'll investigate that storyline. I mean, she could possibly become Killer Frost. Maybe something triggers and she just can't take anymore, and she just flips. I mean, that would be interesting if they do go that route, though. But I do like Caitlyn. I think she's a great character. So that would be kind of sad to see her, turn bad. But it might be interesting. So yeah, that whole stuff was great. Another positive for me was at the beginning seeing Barry adjust to being just a normal guy without his superpowers. I mean, we see the one shot where he's speeding around and he's so used to the powers, and the next shot it's just like he's just a regular guy. He's taking the bus, and you can see in his facial expressions and everything, he hates it. He absolutely hates it. He loves being the Flash and having this power of speed. It would be very addicting, I'm sure. And you can actually see on his face that it sucks. I mean, he hates being a regular guy. In this whole episode, he's like, moping around, and he's dealing with it. He's dealing with it. He's owning up to what he's got to do, and what's got to happen here. But you can see he's disappointed, and he's not liking being a regular guy. And even though he even says, we took out Griffin Gray, who was the villain of the week, but how are we going to get Caitlin back? He needs his powers. He knows that. So yeah, that was cool seeing him, adjust throughout this whole episode of just being a regular guy again. That was kind of cool. I thought Wally was pretty strong in this episode. Finally, starting to get him on the team slowly. I think this is really the beginning of him, you know, finally getting on the team, and eventually he's going to get powers as well. So, and it's a slow build. It's really a slow build. I mean, he knows that Joe knows the Flash, and now he's met the Flash. He actually thanked the Flash, which was cool. So, I really liked Wally in this. I thought they did a lot with him, and they really developed this character a little more in this episode. So, I thought that was really good. The villain of the week, Griffin Gray, I thought was even though he was the villain of the week, one and done type villain, I thought he was an interesting villain because he's not just a bad guy, mustache twirling villain that wants to do evil. He is just a kid that got stuck with these powers that seem awesome to have this super strength, but there is actually a downside to it, is that he's actually aging. I mean, that sucks. I mean, his power is horrible. I mean, you have the Flash that's got this speed and he doesn't age. I mean, it's awesome. You have all these other, superpowered metahumans like Killer Frost and Firestorm and, whatever, but you have this guy that he got the short end of the stick. I mean, he got this super strength power like the Hulk or something. But in the downside, he ages every time he exerts himself. I mean, that's horrible. I really felt sorry for this guy because he's just a kid. He's 18 and he doesn't want to do anything bad. He just wants his life back. And I really thought it was kind of sad though. By the end of it, they ended up killing this guy basically. I mean, they killed the guy. I mean, they exerted him and he started getting older and older and it was just like, wow, this is horrible. But when they flipped him back over, he was just like a regular 18-year-old kid again. So I mean, it was like, wow, that's sad. Very sad moment. I really felt like maybe they could have done more for him. That could have been possibly a slight negative for me too, because they knew that this guy was just a kid. I mean, and he doesn't really want to do bad. He just wanted to be helped. I mean, maybe they could have put him in, the jail cell at the, Star Labs or something, and maybe tried to find a formula or something to fix him. I mean, even though Harrison Wells says there's no way to fix you, but at least they could have tried, I mean, I don't know. I just felt sad that their only option was to just kill this guy, So it was sad, but I liked the character. I thought, it was well done. And it's sad for another character, to be gone like that. They've had a couple, one and done characters that were really cool, and they've just killed them off. So, but I did have a few negatives. One of the negatives that I had was, well, a big one really, is that they keep teasing this Man in the Iron Mask. I mean, they've done it for how many episodes now? 4 or something? 5? I don't know. And they keep teasing this guy, and all he does is just keeps knocking on the jail cell. He just keeps knocking on the walls there. It's just like, they need to give us something more. I mean, they're really teasing, and really stretching this out. I mean, we got 4 episodes to go. I really think they need to give us something more. I mean, we're not getting anything from this, and it's becoming to the point like, okay, the suspense is gone now. I just want to know who this guy is, and it's just like, why are you stretching this out? They need to let us know in another couple episodes before the season finale. I hope they don't reveal it in the season finale and it becomes like a cliffhanger for next season. I really hope they let us know who this guy is, and then we can develop it the last episode or 2. So, but they need to give us something. So that's kind of a negative, that they're just playing this out a little too long, I think. Another big negative for me is where Wells says to Barry, "We're going to get your powers back." How are you going to do that? We're going to recreate the particle accelerator explosion. I'm like, what? That sounds like a terrible idea. Absolutely horrible idea. I mean, for the last couple seasons, we have been dealing with the ramifications of the particle accelerator explosion, whether it be on Earth 1 or Earth 2. They are dealing with the particle accelerator explosion. The ramifications of all these metahumans being made, good and bad, and especially a lot more bad than there is good. And now you want to redo that over again and possibly create more metahumans? I mean, I don't understand that. That sounds like a horrible idea to me. It just doesn't make any sense, really. Yeah, we'll see where they go with it. It might be pretty interesting. But yeah, guys, a few negatives, a few positives. Overall, I thought it was a good episode, a nice setup episode moving forward to the last 4 episodes that we got of the season. But hey, guys, if there's anything that you really liked about this episode, or you didn't like about this episode, please write in the comments below. But that will do it for me for this week for another review for The Flash. I will be back next week. Until then, take it easy.